All right, welcome back. Welcome back to yet another episode of the Talk of the Sports podcast. Um, it's a wrap on the season, guys. It's been a long season. Second season we're doing this. It's a journey like no other, and yet we've come to the end of yet another one. And with that, of course, we got to recap some games, Champions League final. We got some report card grades to hand out, and the England starboard discussion that we've been talking about all season long. However, but before that, how you guys doing? How the fellas? You guys good?
Good, good,
Doing
good.
great.
Can't complain.
All right, that's good. That's good. All right. In that case, let's get started. Champions League final took place over the past weekend. Real Madrid won 2-0. First goal was a Toni Kroos assist from a corner to Carvajal on a header. Great header by Carvajal. Great assist from Toni Kroos. What a way to go out with a bang. Finish his not only his Real Madrid career, but his club footballing career. I think he's retiring totally from football at the end of the Euros. So hopefully Germany wins something, but that's a whole different discussion. Second goal was scored by none other than Vinny Jr., who's most likely going to win the Ballon d'Or this year, and assisted by none other than Jude Bellingham, who probably would have won the Ballon d'Or if Vinny wasn't on the same team as him. And with that, Real Madrid has won their sixth out of the last 10 Champions Leagues.
I mean,
Easily the when you think about the previous Champions League format, because this is the last time we'll ever see that format. That's Real Madrid's format.
true. That is a good point. I completely forgot about the new format going into the next season. That's the end of an era right there. And you know what? They've
Mhm.
capped it. It's a valid point.
The era of Madrid. Will it continue in the new format? That remains to
Man,
be seen. But as far as this one goes, definitely the era of Madrid. Yes, there was some cameos from other clubs, myself, Chelsea included. Some people multiple times. I think Man U won twice in that decade.
we have.
Um, some other cameos. Um, but for the most part, Real Madrid domination.
Absolutely. I do want to point out my prediction was probably closest. There was a lot of fairy tale predictions over here. Jadon Sancho, who I thought was very poor, by the way. Sancho was a five out of 10. I'm being generous with 5 out of 10, but he was not good. He got subbed off. I thought that.
I mean, there was.
Oh, go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say I think there were several players that weren't good on the Dortmund side. But continue your point.
Yeah, no. Just because I felt like with the prediction that was supposed to be his moment, and I thought that Ian Matson had that mistake for the second goal, his giveaway. Picked off.
Painful. That's what killed the game. That's what killed the game.
It's that moments of lapse, It's overall, I thought that in the first half, I was like, wow, man, I might be wrong. These guys might be right because it was Dortmund. They hit the post, if I'm mistaken. That was an offside, but they just looked like they had it in them in the first half. But history. It's just Real Madrid in the Champions League. That history, that know-how, that belief that they have. And it's funny because when you hear Ancelotti talk about, I don't really focus on tactics. I tell my players, go out there and express yourselves. It's something to behold, especially now that we're in the era of tacticals and half turns and all these formations. To see a coach win it by just believing in his players, and players have the quality to do it. It's hats off to them. You can't really say much about that.
Madrid are inevitable when it comes to these finals, man. It's like even when Dortmund were having their fun in the first half, missing all those chances, a bunch of which were offside. It's like Real Madrid barely broke a sweat. Like you said, like they don't. It's less tactics and more. And so I just telling them, yo, you guys are the best in the world at every position. Just go out there and play football. And halftime, he's like, okay, you guys have to try harder. And I wouldn't be surprised if his team talk was literally like 2 sentences. Just, hey, score, play harder, win. Bye. See you at the end of the game. Literally. No reaction on the goals whatsoever. Even the players themselves, like, it's like, yeah, we scored and they'll go in the Champions League final, and then they're not even like rushing each other like any other team. Like it'll be damn near a pitch invasion, like falling over each other. Like you can see them already celebrating when it goes to Vinicius, like the Carvalho goal, of course. Like there's some guys, but you can see the groups they split into when they celebrate. It's like they knew that they were gonna win. And Dortmund, all those, especially at day and me.
Yeah.
It's just like, bro, like this, he just couldn't hang at that level. Their tactics were on point, but they couldn't seal the deal, and that's not even like down to them because, like I said, like a lot of those chances were offsides, and they just let it play. But it's just like the individual brilliance of Courtois, Carvajal on that side. Real Madrid, they pressed them well, but it's like Real Madrid never really got a second gear the entire game. It's just like someone needs to stop them. I think the key is just don't let them get to the final. That's the only way. Don't let them get to the final, man. Or it's like if you don't have that pedigree, you're not beating them. Like nobody has. Like I'd like to look at their record of who they've played in all their finals and what the game was. Like I don't remember them ever being down.
Oh, I think they have been down. We didn't play them in the final.
Oh, that was the semifinals. My bad.
Yeah, we didn't play them in the final. But I think their record in finals is actually
they have
great.
been down. They have been down. I remember the final against Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid was leading until I don't know exact time, and then Sergio Ramos scored off the header, a corner kick, and then.
Speaking of Sergio Ramos, Dani Carvajal, by scoring in this final, was the first defender other than Ramos to score for Real Madrid.
This is what
that's insane.
They find a way. They find a way. Real Madrid is so good that their backup defender, Nacho, I think, walks into any Premier League team.
I know we could use him.
You know what I mean? And now, if all the defenders are fit, he doesn't start, which is crazy because they still have Militao, who was coming back from an injury. Alaba was hurt. Those guys probably get the nod over him. But such is their quality where someone like that could just walk into any of the top six. That just shows. And then to sign Mbappe after that is just unbelievable.
It is what it is. They've been a juggernaut, and they will continue to be even more so next season.
Even more, Mbappe. To their point, because I did look up their finals, like all their European finals, their record is 14-3.
Look at that. That is ridiculous.
From 55, Rams 4-3, Fiorentina 2-0, AC 3-2, Rams 2-0, Eintracht Frankfurt 7-3. Then they lost to Benfica 5-3, lost to Inter Milan 3-1, beat Partizan, lost to Liverpool. Then from there, beat Juve, beat Valencia, beat Bayern, Leverkusen, beat Atletico Madrid, beat Juventus, beat Liverpool again.
That Juventus game was the game that Mandzukic scored that bicycle kick, right? If I can remember. But yeah, they and then the other thing is they have also rebuilt their midfield for the next decade.
Okay, that Juve that wasn't the Mandzukic goal because Madrid won that 1-0. But
Oh yeah, so it wasn't that.
yeah, they're just really good.
And it's a thing.
Well,
It's kind of
we're looking forward to seeing them.
And
Looking
they
forward to
also
seeing
gonna
them.
add Endrick. We forgot about Endrick coming in this summer. So
and
I
Mbappe.
I
Endrick
think
and
they're gonna
Mbappe.
use him like Arde Guler. He's gonna be
Oh
coming off the
man,
bench for
if
the
I
most
was a
part.
Barcelona fan, I'd be crying right now because
No, no,
they're not sniffing anything.
Like
in that
they're
league.
hoping a lot. To be fair, I think that with Barcelona, most of their problems is finances and just having a terrible president who's running the club into the ground. But they do have their academy is. I still have huge respect for the academies. I might not like the club as an institution, but I have respect for the academy. Do they have work to do to catch up with Real Madrid? Heck yeah. A lot of work. Today I read a report saying that Lewandowski is having issues with his contract. Basically refused the first proposal. So you lose Lewandowski.
Oh yeah, because they were trying to get him to take a pay cut.
Yeah.
He's obviously not gonna take a pay cut.
That's just
That man's
ridiculous.
they need to get it together.
Like,
Man.
that's just what?
Real Madrid has not as good, but they have one of the top 5 academies.
Oh,
their graduates go everywhere else and excel. Kovacic for one, off the top of my head, they're everywhere. But it's like their club is run in like their club is so simply run where Florentino Perez calls all the shots and they know, okay, whatever like they only go after the biggest stars and it's some I don't know how they do it. They got Mbappe on the fleet.
It's bro. When you built such an institution, and I'm looking.
But it was over $100 and
for
it was over $100 million in signing bonus, bro.
Well, yeah, true that. But it would have cost more a year.
Maybe it would have.
It's just they just have a pull. I remember when they signed Adebayor. They've had players like Luis Figo, Ronaldo, phenomenal. That's what they do.
Galacticos 2.0 now.
Yeah,
they're really in the second era.
It's crazy.
It's
crazy.
More to Marcus' point, I think Bellingham should win Ballon d'Or over Vinicius.
We'll get to that. But before we get to that, we have report card grades to hand out. So, as I said earlier, Premier League season is donezo. And this is what we have for the final table. All right, so this is gonna be fairly quick. I think I need to zoom in a little bit. Where is this? How did that look here? That did not transfer at all.
I can see it fairly well.
All right, well, either way, for the viewers, just make it full screen for yourself. Either way, so starting off with Manchester City, Premier League champions. I'll go first and start with my club. I gotta give these guys a B for the season. It was honestly going to be a B minus, but what made it a B is because going undefeated since December 23rd, I believe, 2023, something along those lines, to ultimately win the league is something I really write home about, because without that, we really needed every single one of those wins during that undefeated record to take this league. One second.
Keep going.
But so now, reasons why it's not higher than a B is because our defense was an issue all season long, and ultimately you saw that come through again in the FA Cup final against Man U. We were exposed all up and down that left side. The second goal that really did us in was started off on that left side. And while I understand Kyle Walker was late tracking back, I really truly believe he did not think he was going to. Bruno was going to see Kobe Mainu for that beautiful pass in that second goal. But all that being said, that's why I give Man City a B. Yeah, I'll take it away.
Go ahead, Shakes.
Um, like we're doing overall season, right? Not just Premier League.
Oh yeah, overall season.
Okay, like even everything. Well, you get a B minus. I was definitely going for that. Um, I'll give them. I don't know how to put this because they lost to their rivals. They got knocked out by Madrid. I don't know who did them.
Penalties though.
Yeah, on penalties. Yeah, so it's like those are not terrible losses. Especially the United one because they were gassed. I'm not sure who did y'all in the League Cup, but overall, I'd say that's a pretty A minus season. Like I
You
don't
give
think
us an A minus. Wow.
yeah, I don't think it gets much better. A minus between A minus and B plus because y'all won the league regardless. And this is one of the toughest races ever, at least the most interesting. Yeah, the three horse of admittedly one horse broke its leg 10 minutes from the finish line.
Yeah.
Arsenal did push y'all all the way. And the way you got knocked out in the two other major cups, apart from Carling, I just don't remember how y'all got did in that. It's like it's not anything to like. It's like okay, whatever. It's not like you haven't won a bunch of cups. You won the Champions League last year. It's definitely not a disaster. It's nothing to be crying about. Like y'all won the league record 4 in a row, and really, like that's a great season. I don't think there's any other way to look at it as a great season. It wasn't perfect, but like that season is some like record breaking in the cup. You reached 2 cup finals. Winning one of them would have made it an A, possibly even an A. Well, compared to last season, I guess if last season was an A plus, which it has to be,
1000%. If we won a double this season, it would have been an A.
Yeah,
That's my take on it.
Minus, yeah.
I have to agree as well. I feel like the standards that City have set, to your point, a season like this for any other team would definitely be an A, right? If Arsenal had a season like City had, that would be an A.
Oh, winning anything major would be an A plus, especially.
Yeah, so absolutely, and like I said, I agree with you guys. If they had won the double, if they won the Champions League, or maybe if they repeated the treble again, that would have been an A plus. But with that, the standards that have set, and I remember saying that I personally felt that City were not at their dangerous best as they've been throughout the season. They looked very vulnerable this season. Injuries to Kevin De Bruyne. Haaland had his issues, even though he still scored a lot of goals. But I felt like City lacked a little bit of their cutting edge this season, especially that game against Villa. I was watching that game and I was like, that's something not right with this team. But
that left side of our defense.
Yeah, you did mention
the
that.
Left side, yo.
Look! The left side doesn't excuse Doku as a winger scoring 5 goals, but.
Hey. to be fair, I feel like this is his first season, right?
Yeah,
Doku, yeah, and it wasn't even a full season. He came in the January window.
He was in January.
Yeah, I'll give him some grace.
Okay.
That he has a long
I take that back.
I thought that Julian Alvarez didn't have the best of seasons. I feel like if he did,
you say that 32 goal contributions.
What? Ain't no way.
There's no way.
Go look it up.
32?
Go look it up.
How many did he have last year?
Ain't no way he had 32 goal contributions.
Go look it up. I wouldn't lie to you guys. Maybe the number is a little bit up, but let me go see. I'm telling you, 32 goal contributions.
And that's across all like the Champions League, League Cup.
That's all comps. That's not league.
Yeah, that's all comps. That's all comps. That's all counts. I wouldn't do that to you. This season,
Okay,
he had
19,
in
19
the
goals.
league. In the league, he had 11 goals, 9 assists. But throughout,
Yeah. All right, that 19 goals. That means you said 32. That means he got
Yeah, I know.
14 assists because he got
I
9
lied.
in
I
the
lied.
league.
22. I added 10.
Okay,
Foolish.
that's
Foolish on
22
my
goals.
part.
Yeah,
22.
Foolish my part. Foolish
That's
on
a
my part.
decent season for him.
that's a decent season, to be fair.
Wait,
That's
wait, wait, wait,
actually a
wait, wait,
decent
wait,
season.
wait. 5,
That's an
7.
improvement.
That's 18.
I did. Phil Foden was definitely your best player of the season.
No, hands down.
Definitely.
No, 29 goal contributions.
Oh, it's not so bad.
29 goal contributions.
All right.
Scored twice, 2 goals, 1 assist in the Club World Cup, 5 goals, 2 assists in the Champions League, 11 goals, 9 assists in Premier League.
Yeah, double digits goals in the Premier League. That's any player that scores double digits goals in the Premier League for me, decent season.
Already top 5% attackers easily.
Yeah. But like I said, I felt like Phil Foden was the best player for City this season.
1000%.
And that's the thing about that City team is with Pep. Every year, there's that one player that elevates, that's head and shoulders above. They find a way. Like the season before, it was Gundogan. Kevin De Bruyne had his time. There was a season where it was Riyad Mahrez.
Crazy, yeah.
They just find a way to do it. Disappointing for Arsenal, but like I said, a season like that, anyone's going to take it. So for me, I would say
that's actually a perfect segue. Let's talk about Arsenal. They came up short. Although if you compare it to their performance last season, they didn't bottle it this time around. They had a mission. Do what they do. Yes, did they stumble a little bit with a draw? They didn't lose going in the final stretch, right? They drew a game, right?
Did they draw?
Mm-hmm.
No, they had to. That's why we were up 2 points in the first place.
I think they lost.
They
lost against Aston Villa.
Aston Villa. Yes, that's where the loss came from.
Yeah.
Oh, so Aston Villa played devil's advocate this season. They gave City an L, and then they did the same.
Aston Villa, look at that. They only got Champions League by 2 spots. They could not care less about what anybody else had going on.
It was a personal vendetta between Emery and Arsenal. He always beats them, though.
Well, that too.
It was personal.
But sticking to Arsenal, this is the most wins that they've ever gotten in their club history. With that being said, what grade would you give them on their season? For me personally, I understand they didn't get the win. I understand for the league. I understand they've pretty much finished this season with no trophies. With that being said, this is a B+ season for me.
Yeah,
I have to give him a B+.
Yeah, I truly believe that Arsenal are an elite striker away from actually winning the Premier League.
Well,
I don't think it's gonna. Well, I'll wait for my turn.
They create, for me personally. I don't think if Arsenal is serious about winning the Premier League, I also agree with Marcus. I'm gonna give them a B+. But if they're serious about winning a Premier League, they need a deadly 9. The amount of chances they create, sometimes they just don't have someone up there with a killer instinct to just put it away. They're playing Havertz, who's a false 9 or center forward. He's like a hybrid type of player, not an out and out striker. Gabriel Jesus can't stay fit.
I mean, even if he's fit, this is a City fan telling you he's not it. He's not it.
Yeah. And it looks like Arteta has no faith in Eddie Nketiah. So I truly believe that they are deadly 9 away because they're center back.
I just have to know. I need to know how Balongo did this season.
I don't think he did great at Monaco, to be honest. Because if he did great, we would see him all over the internet and they would have been raving over him. They are in the Champions League, if I believe. I think they made it to the Champions League. Monaco.
You know, he's not bad. It's not bad. 7 goals, 6 assists, and 29 appearances.
Very good.
Well,
He had a B season. That's decent.
but I don't think he would have gotten. He would have gotten less than that if he would have stayed at Arsenal. So
Yeah, I don't think staying in Arsenal was
No,
even
because they chose Nketiah over him, and I mean,
Nketiah-
going into that.
Nketiah didn't do nothing this season.
Nketiah, he's such an enigma of a striker because when you see him,
Oh, he got some finishing, but
yeah, and he looks busy, but I don't know.
Maybe
it's like
maybe-
like Havertz shows up when you look at him as a midfielder now. He played primarily in center mid. That was like his most recent. Like I guess they really did sign him to be a midfielder, but I agree. I believe a top striker would help them. They definitely need that the most. And they do have assets they can trade in order to afford. Not that they can't afford it right off the bat, but unfortunately for them, they have Chelsea to contend, but they can have Osimhen if they want to pay that much money.
No, I think reports saying that they're looking at Sheshko.
Well, Chelsea are also
Chelsea also looking at Chelsea.
Yeah, and so is
Honestly,
United. So
I think Chelsea's game plan is whoever Arsenal is looking at, just make sure they're going to steal.
stop them at all costs. Which is why.
Let me ask you guys a question. If you were running Chelsea, you were the head of scouts. Which would be the number 9 that you would think would fit the puzzle, would fix that goal drought that sometimes you guys lack as well? Because I think that the same issues that Arsenal have with finishing, because you guys create a ton of chances. Jackson just missed a whole bunch of them last season. So if you were to go out in the market right now, and what striker would you want to go for?
Mason Greenwood.
It ain't happening, but good
Pay
luck.
us $125 million.
Y'all don't want him though.
It ain't
Nah,
happening.
but so you would go with Greenwood.
That's politics in the club. The women's team will revolt if you get rid of if you bring that man back. So just let us have him, please.
Me personally,
Not for free.
It'll be free, but it'll be for the low though, like 35 mil. Thanks.
that's crazy. Me
45
personally,
to 50 mil, brother.
All right, we got you. Easy money.
That is easy money for them, no bro. To
That's
be honest.
we need it. We need the brand.
But nah, y'all have already included him. Your provisional squad for next season included squad
Yeah, I
whatever
saw that
came out.
today.
So, but me personally,
Yeah.
y'all have already spent this money for them. With these guys, and I think you should have no problem going and doubling back because it looks like that ship is just falling apart. You need to go and save Evan Ferguson from Brighton.
Evan
Chelsea.
Ferguson.
Chelsea, go save Evan Ferguson from Brighton.
Honestly, I don't think signing another. Like I'd rather not sign anyone, to be honest. Like
That's fair. I was just saying if you would answering this question.
You know, like it's only so like the profile of a top elite finisher is there's only very few, and obviously I'm not a scout, but we have a whole system set up to find it. I don't think signing whoever Arsenal want is a winning strategy. We already saw what happened with Modric, you know. So I don't think it's like the best. You know, I was very happy to start this season with Nkunku, Havertz, and Jackson.
Yes.
They wanted to pay that much so to play him at LCM, so that's cool. But yeah, we have Nkunku fit, we have Jackson, which there's nobody. I hope there's nobody that will try to tell me as bad as his finishing was, he still had a great season.
Yeah, and he had a better first season than DJ Drogba.
Exactly. Yeah, he had an amazing season for his first season in the top flight ever.
Yeah,
I can't dispute that.
So
yeah,
I just want to bring it back to like my grade for Arsenal. I give them bottlers a C because while they have improved, got knocked out of the League Cup by West Ham 3-1. I think that was like November-ish. They got bullied out of the FA Cup by Liverpool 2-0. They got yeeted out of the Champions League by Bayern, and they could not finish once again to beat Man City. And I don't even think a top striker will take them to the promised land either. They'll find another way and another excuse to bottle it. Yeah, it's time to start looking at Arteta sideways if I was them. But if you're an Arsenal fan, this season is a because for them, they're very happy to be in the title race and get knocked out of all competitions just to say they're back again, even though they're not winning anything.
I mean, when Arsene Wenger was there, right? Their whole thing was finishing top 4.
Yeah,
that's the Champions League, selling players, getting revenue in, and Arsenal fans.
Honestly, that policy, that suffering they had to go through, the financially, it made sense now. What they had to go through in order to get here to be good again, consistently good, but back then it was top 4. That's it. Now at least they're in the title conversation, but I don't know if they have the DNA to take that next step. Maybe after Pep leaves, and everything becomes balanced again, they will be the top team. Like once Pep is gone, but it's like, do they have what it takes to beat Pep to a title? All the other teams are basically reshuffled, new coaches, restarting. Even Ten Hag that's been there 2 years, like now they're not really up to Liverpool. Nobody knows what they're gonna be next season.
Tottenham.
So Spurs, so it's like top striker, sure, fine. Get all the reinforcements you need. Maybe you have Timber back for the whole season. Good luck to them, but it's Arsenal, guys. Come on. It's Arsenal.
We'll leave that there. Moving on to Liverpool. Honestly, Shags, you gave Arsenal a C, so I really want to know what you're gonna give Liverpool. But me starting off, I'm gonna make mine short and sweet. So I'm going to preface the grade I'm giving Liverpool with this. Before Christmas break started. Well, now let me not say that. Before December ended, December 2023, Liverpool was at the top of the table. Man City was in third. You're looking at this final table, and the points are as followed from first to third the third place where Liverpool is. 91 points from Manchester City, 89 points from Arsenal, 82 points from Liverpool. The collapse.
Yeah.
The utter collapse of Liverpool is what makes this grade the only grade I could ever give them. A whopping C minus. C minus. In fact, nah. I'm sorry. After I'm thinking about it, after discussing it. Nah, that collapse was so. It's a D plus. It's a D plus. It's a D plus. It's a D plus.
Yeah,
it's a D plus. That's
crazy.
That's my final. That's my final grade. D plus. Y'all take it away.
Hey, but at least they won a trophy.
You're right. D plus C minus. D plus C minus. That trophy does put it up. I wouldn't be mad either way. If you give it a D plus, I'm happy. If you give it a C minus, I'm happy.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for me to give them a grade considering I gave Arsenal a C. Maybe I'm just being a hater. With Liverpool, that collapse is just they went from quadruple to club
singularity.
Dance to what the hell is going on here? And they were very shameless about it. Liverpool fans kind of just faded away.
No, they knew they already knew their fate.
They went back into the pre-Klopp era depression immediately.
It's crazy how much influence a good coach brings to a club. Because right after the club said, "You know what, I'm leaving," you just felt the soul just you just pop a balloon. And
he said himself that he did not have the energy, and that showed.
Yeah, bro. I remember the game against Crystal Palace when Crystal Palace scored. He was smiling, but he usually smiles.
He's always smiling when everything hits the fan. I think what it really is like combined with the low energy and just like losing the title by 1 point to Man City and like their trauma from that going in knowing they're gonna lose their talisman. The cup was never the same.
Yeah. And I think that game against United also messed them up mentally.
Yeah. United did them so dirty. It was just the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
But it got so much worse because they were still in it and it just kept that was a spectacular crash. But I would still say that despite all of that, they still had a better season at Arsenal. So I'll give them a C+ because they
Okay.
won.
All right, no, that's it. No. Man, give me a grade. We have to get through the European places and menu.
I'm
not even gonna give that any air to breathe. Just give me a grade so we can move on to Aston Villa.
For me, it's simple, short and simple as a D.
You said D?
A D.
Okay, see, someone with sense. Ace.
They didn't have a great season. They did for all the expectation that we had coming in and the rebuild of their midfield. That was not a good season.
I didn't expect them to win anything, though. I think it was more when Klopp announced he was leaving. It's like, oh yeah,
I expected them to win the Europa League at least
themselves. Like we didn't come in here making any predictions. Liverpool were gonna win anything.
They lost to Atalanta.
Listen, Atalanta didn't just lose. Atalanta, listen.
Atalanta destroyed a team that did not lose all season 3-0. Put some respect.
We're talking about Liverpool.
Bro, stop. Wait. I understand what Atalanta did to that previous team, but what they did to Liverpool, they took Liverpool, bent them over their lap, and said, how many will it take for you to understand?
Bruh.
That there's no more Anfield.
And if we look at Liverpool's Klopp era, like I don't know what y'all really expected from them. Like they won one league, they won one Champions League and a bunch of Carabao Cups. Like that's it. It. That was like what more did you expect? Okay, maybe if Man City didn't commit all those crimes, they would have won more.
We don't know that to be the truth yet.
I had to get that.
I get that to pop up in this.
But
to sneak in.
All right, I don't wanna keep it going.
Oh man,
all right. In any case, we'll leave that where it is. Let's move on to a team that had a little bit more positive outlook on the year, on the season. One, Aston Villa. So, in fact, when is the last time Aston Villa played in the Champions League?
Even with back in the day when they had a young Ashley Young, Gabriel Agbola, and the rest of them, I don't think they were playing even in Champions League at the time. I think they were like
so. The last time they made the Champions League was the 1982-83 season.
Oh, there you go.
So this is the first time that they've made it since then. The Premier League, definitely the first time in the Premier League era. So, because the Premier League was established in the 90s, and so this is a big achievement. And especially because at one point during the season, you're talking about Chelsea got injuries. At one point, we were looking at Aston Villa and saying, "What the heck is going on over there?" With that being the case, Unai Emery got what he had together, rowdied up the boys, and then as people came back from injury, he also included them, got them involved, and what you see is what you got: a top 4 place. Aston Villa in the Champions League for the first time in the Premier League era next season, and a whopping B+ grade from me for their season.
Yeah. For me, you can't deny the fact that getting in the Champions League, that's huge for them financially, the ability to get in players and all of that. My only concern, though, is I know they're in the Champions League, and this, I don't want to give my grade, based on expectation for the next season, but they also collapsed in Europe.
That's not fair, man. They
You
lost
saw
to
the
Metro
you saw
win.
the you saw the
That's not
injuries they also dealt with. Come
that's
on
not
now.
collapse.
Listen, I get that. I 100% get that. But
You know,
my grade would be a B minus because I just felt like
Oh, wait. They lost 6-2. Jesus. Okay, never
who did
mind.
they lose to? Just what club did they lose to?
Okay.
go look. What was the team they fielded?
What club did they lose to, bro?
Olympiacos. Well, Olympiacos ended up winning it all. So
Bro,
What
that game against Fiorentina was Taliban football,
again,
bro.
spent 6-2. Okay, that's a cause of concern, but they did
what
lose to the
was the
eventual
team
winners.
he? How many
Hold on,
members did he
I'll
have
find it
in
right
that
now. I'm
squad?
pulling it up right now. So, uh, when they played home, they lost 4-2 at home, and their lineup was Robert Olsen in defense, Matty Cash, Ezri Konsa, uh, Longley, Digne. They played with two CDMs, McGinn and Douglas Luiz, Leon Bailey, Musa Diaby, Morgan Rogers, Ollie Watkins. They lost 4-2.
Yeah,
At that
same.
point, the injury list was
First
not
off,
that bad. I
first
just
you're
think they
right. You're
lost
right.
form.
That was just a mess up on Unai's Emery's side because John
Mhm.
McGinn is John McGinn is not a CDM.
Yeah.
The last thing John McGinn is a CDM. So you put in him at CDM, you wanted to give up goals. You wanted to give up goals.
Yeah, he did this. He played a similar system in the second game. It was Ollie Watkins, Musa Diaby in left midfield, Douglas Luiz and McGinn center midfield, Bailey on the right, Digne, Paul Torres, Diego Carlos. So he added an extra center back when they played away, and they
And they
still
lost 2-0. Yeah. Well, I mean,
That's why I give it a B minus because again,
wait, you gave them a what?
a B minus
Okay.
because like great season, but then I worry. We saw Leicester win the league and go into the Champions League, and obviously So for me, yes, huge achievement, but I just worry about them now playing with these elite teams in the Champions League. They don't fill me with a lot of confidence.
I would say that getting into the Champions League, finishing fourth, even though they did kind of stumble into that last position, finishing only 2 points behind Spurs, I think
In front of.
Yeah, 2 points in front of Tottenham.
two points in front of Spurs. Still an amazing achievement, no matter what, for their club. The way they got knocked out of the Conference League, concerning, but I think Emery might have had his eyes on a greater prize, which is Champions League. That's way better, and he's won a bunch of those European cups. I think they were in the Conference League, right? So yeah, he's won the Europa League a bunch of times. I don't really think he cares too much about that. But they got knocked out by Chelsea in the FA Cup, acceptable. They got knocked out by Everton early in the League Cup, acceptable. So overall, I'd say this is a great season for Aston Villa, and it deserves nothing less than a B plus season for them. I think anything like reaching a final, or maybe not losing to Everton would put it over the line into that A territory. But overall, still a great season for them. They've signed Emery to a longer term contract.
Well deserved.
They at least have the funds to get a couple signings. I would say they should not make the mistakes of other teams that have gotten into the Champions League and then just failed spectacularly, because there is no dropping into the Europa League this year.
Their first signing is Ross Barkley,
which is a fantastic signing in my opinion.
Premier League veteran, Premier League winner, FA Cup winner, all of that good stuff.
Ross Barkley, before you go, Mace, they got Ross Barkley because Yori Tielemans didn't do what he was brought in to do.
True.
They brought him in to be a playmaker for the midfield, and he was everything but that. Go ahead.
I was going to ask because reports, Fabrizio is reporting that Juventus is eyeing Douglas Luiz.
Yeah, I think Douglas Luiz wants to leave. And
Yeah.
it's not just Ian. Douglas Luiz is apparently they've already agreed to personal terms.
Oh, so there you go.
It's just agreement between the clubs now.
So do you think that midfield going into going into the Champions League? I know Boubacar Kamara should come back from his injury, so he should be part of the squad. But do you think that they lose something with Douglas Luiz, and do you think that Ross Barkley can give them that? I mean, not the same type of player, but do you think that they would lose a bit of spark in that midfield if they don't replace properly?
Ross Barkley will definitely give them that.
Well,
One thing I'll say is I think people think Ross Barkley is a lot older than he actually is. The man's only 30 years old.
Yeah, he's 30, yeah, which is crazy.
Like he still has some good years of football left in his legs. And so with that being said, I think they'll be fine. I do think they need one more midfielder to come in because then putting John McGinn in there is not going to work.
Right.
And Ross Barkley, you want him there for more of the offensive side of the game, not more for his defensive work rate. Although that isn't to say he doesn't have any. It's just it's not what he's there for.
Exactly.
So I do think they need one more person to come in so that they can give that more defensive side of responsibility of things to that person.
That might be Gallagher.
And that's why they're focusing on Gallagher. Exactly.
I was just
Not
about to say,
box energy. Yeah, that's what Gallagher.
they definitely need to move very smartly this transfer window. If they have to lose Douglas Luiz, they must squeeze Juventus, even though Italian clubs are notoriously stingy. But Conor Gallagher is going to cost them 50 mil right off the top.
Facts.
That's fine. I think they're going to get 65 for Douglas Luiz.
They also have, and people forgot about this player. They have a Buendia, but an ACL injury in the start of the season. Who's a very, very good player.
I think they also need to I hope they don't have any technical directors. They need to let Emery manage the club. Let him get him the players he wants so he can play his football to keep them at the level they're at. Because their squad can still be affected by Juicy.
They have a technical director, you said?
Yeah, his name is Johan Lang, but apparently they have a good relation. He has a good relationship with what's his face.
That's perfect for them. They don't have, at least it's not a dictatorship.
Yeah.
Hopefully they will give that man the signings he wants, and they're very shrewd in this market because just because you got Champions League money means you need to spend Champions League money.
That Champions League might not come back again. You know what I mean? They might not finish top four.
With injuries, you never know what might happen. So Ross Barkley is a great start.
And it was because of him. He was the guy that brought in Ollie Watkins, Matty Cash, and Emiliano Martinez.
Yeah, so
he's been doing a good job thus far.
Cook. You've signed him for that long. Let him cook. Get him some good key pieces that he can use to at least maintain the level. I think that should be their focus. At least staying. I mean, there's more games in the Champions League, so that's more money. But at least try to just maintain this level, because I'm all for the top 6. Let it become a top 8. Come on, more competition is fun for everybody, you know. So yeah, what would I give them? Okay, I already gave them a B+. So
that's Aston Villa. We're moving on to Tottenham. There's not really much. This is really
my club, bro. If I speak,
this is really gonna be quick.
Speak.
Yeah, this is really gonna be quick, honestly, because one, I don't really have much to say about Tottenham, and two, this episode is getting to be kind of long. We need to start, be mindful of that. That being said, Tottenham started hot. This was Andrew's first season. I am the one on this podcast. Listeners who's been with us since season 1 would know that I wasn't a big fan of their last 2 managers. Shegs and Zach have fought with me on this podcast against that point. With that being said, I thought this was a phenomenal year for them. you know, they Ange came in, completely wiped the stench that existed for these people that was there. You know, Tottenham was actually exciting to watch last season. I'm not going to hold you guys for this part. I hate that. If there was any reason why I hated this podcast, it was because I had to watch Spurs games because we had to talk about them. Awful, 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 absolutely awful. So now, with that being said, I did not expect them to win anything. My only hope for them was to come in and get a Champions League position, and for a hot minute, it looked like they got it. They did collapse from that, which I have to hold them accountable for. And with that being the case, for me, coming into the season, if they made top four, that would have put them at a B plus. They didn't get the top four. They didn't win anything. And with that being said, I have to drop them down to a C plus.
I was gonna say C. Like you said, it started off hot. You know, everyone was excited about Ange Ball and the high line, and it was a different style of play, I think. But Tottenham, they did what Tottenham does. I've been watching the Premier League for years. They besides last year, the last couple of years, Tottenham, they play beautiful football. I see Tottenham as an upgrade on Southampton, right? They play pretty football. Their fans, as long as they're playing and entertaining, their fans don't care if they win a trophy. There's not that drive to win a trophy. Would that change, especially listen to what Ange has been saying? He's like, oh, he wants to change the culture of the club and be a club that wants to win trophies and be driven. Maybe in the future that would change, but I didn't really see anything spectacular about them. With that being said, I thought it was a decent season. Like I said, played decent football. They were exciting for a bit. I'm interested to see how Ange would progress in the summer, what kind of players he brings in. For me, I would give them a C. A C for them.
They're another one that's looking at the Conor Gallagher. Go ahead, Six.
I'll give them a C.
Damn, the price is 65. I just like to preface with the last season because with the way the season started out with Big Ange coming in, they loved him. This high line. But, you know, as Spurs do, even in the season when they had no European football, they still somehow failed to reach the top four. But that's just what Spurs do. They always let it slip, you know. This is the history of the Tottenham. But what really interested me was like towards the end of the season when that high line started getting exposed. And, you know, Big Ange, like any top manager, wants to stick to his tactics, his philosophy. But my favorite part of Spurs season is Big Ange's meltdown post Man City game, because that just what's that word when something not verifies, but it justified my feelings on Conte at Spurs. Those guys do not want to win. They are losers. And when Conte said it, he got fired the next day. When Big Ange says it, they love him because he plays pretty football. End of the day, they both ended up with 0. Hey! I'll let you talk. Don't
not say that though.
Don't interrupt me.
At least be truthful with your delivery. That's what I'm saying.
But to be fair,
he has supposedly swept out of the club. It's still there on the carpet. It's on the mattress. It's in their dusty trophy room. It's everywhere. It's still there. You might not smell it because he went in and sprayed some Febreze, but it's still there. And he has a huge job to do. Because there's only one job for any Tottenham coach. You saw it with Mourinho. They fired him before a cup final. They saw it with Conte. give me the players. Like, there's nobody wants to win. He wasn't complaining about the players he got. He was complaining about them not wanting to play to win. That's the same thing that ends. Like, the fans why are the fans like? He said, I did not know. Like, he said something along the lines of he didn't realize this job was bigger than him just being the coach. When the fans want him to lose, he said that shook him. They said that shook him to his core. That's what he's fighting against, because his main job is to win something, anything. It doesn't matter. Win something. And
when was the last time Tottenham won a trophy? I'm just curious.
Bro, I got you, bro. Twitter.com/when the Spurs last won the trophy. The answer will surprise you.
I'm sure. I'm sure. I have no doubts in my mind.
Okay. It's been exactly 8 years, 2 months, 1 day, 3 hours, and 28 minutes as of April 25th.
8 years? What did they win?
Wait. No. Wrong account. This account is inactive.
Hold on.
So, I think they last won the Carling Cup. That's what it was. But as of 2016, it was 8 years. We're in 2024 now. So, it's been 16 years since they last won a trophy.
2008.
Yeah, 16 years.
Yep. So their last trophy was in 2008, and there's no way that's a C plus. I'm sorry, Marcus.
2008 League Cup. That's it. Since then, they've reached.
Right,
I think they've reached at least.
What? Wait.
The
Y'all were not expecting them to do anything in the first season with Poch and them choosing to wait until the day before the final day of the transfer window to sell off Harry Kane.
No. Wait.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean with Tottenham. That's the club.
That's even them. They should have let that man go immediately so they could take the money and use it.
Like he did with Bale, right?
Never gonna stay. He was never staying. He was never signed that contract extension. They had to sell him or they would lose it for free. Literally June 1st, it would have been gone.
So my point is, despite all that, Ange still got this team into Europa League.
No. But look, that getting into the Europa League is not the point of Tottenham. It's to win a trophy after 18 years. That's what they need. They don't need to go bottle another Europa League. They need to win.
It wasn't. You're right, but it wasn't. None of us believed that was going to happen this year.
Even if they had Harry Kane, they would have still probably done about the same thing. Maybe they'll get the extra points again in the Champions League, but it's still the same. No trophies. That's on for not letting them go, for stringing everybody on that long enough. What they really need is to let Big Ange. They already released a bunch of players. I saw their release list. They released, they lost Dyer, Sexton. They released a bunch of guys.
I must say
they're going to be releasing more.
Now. Oh yeah, they're going to release more. I feel like players like Oliver Skip, maybe Bentancur, Carlos Hill.
Nah, Bentancur definitely, but Oliver Skip is a youngin.
What's his name? Hill. Brian Hill.
Perisic, Sassenon, Tanganga. Oh my God. Goodbye, Tanganga.
Yo.
Chelsea fan.
You know what's crazy? Mourinho loved Tanganga, bro. Mourinho loved him, bro.
But even as a Chelsea fan, I'm like, thank God that guy.
Bro.
Since we're speaking about Chelsea, let's go on to them. Their season. Shakes, remembering.
I give them a C, by the way.
Okay. All right. Cool.
That on record.
But Chelsea, I want you to, Shags, all I'm going to say is about your point on your entire argument for Tottenham. I want you to remember it next season when we're talking about your Chelsea squad and your players have faced, a team has faced the same issues that they've been facing for the past 3 managers straight. I want you to remember your take today on Tottenham.
Yeah, I've already told you. Like, if I see the same thing, I'll be saying the same things. It don't matter who the head coach is. If you are bad, I will come out here and say you are bad.
You guys
if the
will
players
never...
are bad, I will criticize the players that are bad. I've already told you what players are bad this year.
Okay. All right. Either way, before that, what was your question?
There's a bunch of them.
I'm going to ask him how he feels about signing Tosin.
Ooh, elite signing. I love it. We got some Nigerian. Well, we already had some, but
I mean, Nigeria's always Nigeria, Chelsea.
So I just have to ask.
It's a great signing. Transfer, fast as hell, tall.
I just have to ask.
Right.
You're so excited for this Nigerian. What is the last? What last bit of success has Nigeria had?
Oh wow!
Okay.
Disrespect.
What was the last competition Haiti qualified for?
The disrespect.
I know we are trash. I'll be the first one to tell you we are trash. But my question is, my
excitement for him,
bro. We just came in second in AFCON
because he's
after talking you were winning. I know it was my first as an honorary Nigerian fan. So I'm talking like this out of disappointment. Out of disappointment.
Yeah, the disrespect is crazy though. The disrespect.
Like what Nigeria done?
Nigeria has the most U17 World Cups.
Nigeria has the most kit sales. That's the only thing you have.
Oh, no, U17 World Cup, bro.
Are you hating, bro? Why are you?
We're talking about a.
You know what?
You have no shame. No, you have no shame. You know why you have no... Wait, hold on, wait, stop. You know why you have no shame? We're talking about an adult game, and you came to me U17. Get out of here.
Please. You spent that on Nigeria won. We are one, brother.
We are talking. You see, it's only.
One of the most successful.
That's how Spurs talk too. Spurs say we're 1-2. The Spurs women are much more. The Spurs women are much more successful than the men. They say we are one. See, losers unite. Nonsense.
Where's this coming from?
No. It was just a question.
You know what?
Listen. As an honor, wait. No, we're gonna be. We're not gonna be qualified for anything. I'll tell you straight up. I'm more hopeful for the women. The men, forget about it. No. Me. No, I was honorary fan. I was dispirited.
Your first time.
Yes, now.
Don't worry. Repeat what you said when you go to the traditional in Nigeria. If they don't beat you, but okay, don't disrespect Nigeria like that.
At least you beat Ghana, so we have something to scream about.
Hold on. Let me just put this. We're a 3-time African champion, bro. Don't.
There you go. Exactly. We're one of the most successful countries in Africa.
I just asked you, when was the last time you've won it?
2013.
Okay. So we were just talking about Spurs. I beat from 2016. So what does that make you?
Hold on. We just came in second last.
No, Marcus, you're the one that
you went to the final the last one.
Marcus, you were purposely.
That's a Spurs argument, but I'm just.
Yo, Marcus, please keep your Nigeria hates over there. The time will come for that. Okay. Let's
you're right.
Get to the point why I'm excited about Tosi.
Yes, you're right.
One, he's Nigerian. Of course, I'm excited. And two, he's free. He's a great signing in his prime, and he's fast.
Really free?
He's tall. He's free.
He was free.
That's crazy.
Awesome. Great signing. All right, continue.
Me personally, Chelsea went through a lot of struggles. Specifically, Poch went through a lot of struggles this season. There was a lot of, a lot of challenges, a lot of injuries, and yet there was a point, Chelsea literally was in the bottom half of the table for majority of the season. You had to scroll to find Chelsea. Can you imagine? You had to.
Chelsea was on page 2, bro.
Yo, page two.
Hey,
Google type page 2, bro. You have to hit next to find Chelsea.
This man want to throw his shots. It's okay.
Bro, this man is on fire.
I'm just saying that's where it was. So to come this far, to finish in the European competition spot. How can I not give it anything less than a B-? How? It's a B minus. It's a B minus. It's a B minus. You can't go through all those challenges. You can't have all these injuries. You can't have Reece James, who's honestly should change his name to Reece Glass. Like, like you can't you can't be dealing up with all these things and then finish in European spot
This
and
boy
think
put
that's
like
not
hate in the
and
shit.
think that's not
Glass
B.
doesn't even transfer because like Glass would imply that it's his bones that but it's a muscle. You know what? Keep hating.
Nah. Wake up and hate, bro. Let him know how much you hate. Go ahead. You're not doing yourself at this
Listen, I gave it a B minus. I gave them a B minus. Now how's this hate?
You
I gave them
know,
a B minus.
but the smoke that's by 1,000 cuts over the season is like now you brought out the machete and just. But you gave us a B minus, which is fair.
I'm going to go C plus.
Okay.
That's
Sex, go ahead. What'd you say? What are you giving them?
Okay. Well, I'll have to compare it to last season to give it an accurate grade. Let me see. What was last season? If I
10.
had to grade it,
Page 2.
10.
Oh my God.
Bottom half.
No, don't,
Really
page
finished
2.
12.
They finished 12. It
I
was
don't even
page 2.
remember.
Mid-tables, but 12?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the improvement
My
on
goodness.
last season, even though we had a coach who I would personally do a better job than, that's just my personal opinion. You know, I would have to give it just based off the improvement alone and the injury crisis and having Pochettino. You know, I will give it a C plus season because last season was nothing less than a D minus. So yeah, C plus season. Honestly, that doesn't sit right with me. B minus. B minus.
Thank you. Thank you.
It didn't sit right with me. B minus season. Because the improvement is just so much and everything is starting to look like it's gel. We're still like very much a mess off the pitch. But, you know, during the season, just straight depression. After the season was over, happiness. Like I'm free. I have hope again. At least until next season starts.
We hope going into next season you have more weeks of happiness than you did this season.
Amen.
And with that being said, we move on to our final team. Not really going to discuss Newcastle United because honestly, their season was an F.
D. Let's give them a D.
A D. They collapsed out of everything.
Nah, they didn't.
They had
D minus. I think D minus is fair.
they have injuries though.
Okay.
D minus.
Okay, after D minus, what is it?
Yeah, they were touching F, but they didn't really touch it. D minus.
Okay, fine.
Injuries though.
You've convinced me. I'll give it a D minus. Now we move on to Manchester United, which honestly is going to be the final topic of today's podcast because we are way over the usual. We tried to stay under, guys. If you've been with us for this long, we appreciate it. And I know we just said we were going to talk about the Star Boys, English Star Boys, but we will do that after we come back from our break. But I'll let you know about that a little bit more later on, right after we discuss Manchester United. So, y'all not going to convince me out of this one. Y'all not going to convince me out of this one.
Oh, man, this is going to be terrible.
Y'all not going to convince me out of this one. Just be glad you won the FA Cup. And it's us. And it's us you beat. The rivals from across the street. Because if not, boy, I would have told you, I would have said that I don't have the proper grading scale to grade Manchester United.
Wow. That's insane, bro. That's insane. Considering that you gave Chelsea grace because of injury and said there was an improvement.
I don't want to hear nothing.
Wait.
Nothing.
Hold on.
Varane was healthy and on
Varane
the
was
bench.
not healthy. Varane's not healthy. That's just not true.
Varane was not really healthy.
Varane was not healthy. Martinez was not healthy. Varane
I understand Martinez.
Luke
How
Shaw
long?
wasn't healthy. Malacia wasn't healthy. Casemiro was overweight.
Damn.
Mason Mount wasn't healthy. Like,
You just call that man fat.
I'm calling spade a spade. Like, we had to change our defense the most out of any team in the Premier League.
Let me go look at this man. How many games did he miss this season?
Amrabat was injured. We started the season with Højlund injured. Like,
Bro, he missed 9 games this season.
All right. Okay, your injuries were not that bad.
what?
All things considered.
Okay, he
What?
missed. Okay, wait. He missed from April 4th to May 16th, and then he missed at the beginning of the season, August 26th to September 22. All right, but that's still very early on.
Yeah,
That
but those
I'm not too
games were pivotal, though.
No, bro, you had from September till
Hold
the
on.
next.
So you're
Bro,
telling me a team we started with Højlund injured.
Bro, from December.
Martial was injured.
Listen.
Luke Shaw was injured.
Listen. From September till April 4th, he only missed one more game.
Bro, so you're telling me a Varane? Okay.
All I'm saying is there was multiple times you had Varane on the bench sitting, and you were giving up goals.
No, he's not fit. He could be there, but if you're not fit,
I am looking. Oh my gosh, bro!
Listen. Hear me out. You see how this is what I'm saying. You've given Chelsea grace. If I was to say, Enzo Fernandez, like when I mentioned Enzo Fernandez, they have the best season. You were like, oh, he was injured, which affected his performance.
Bro, you're telling me injury. Look,
Our best center back this season was Maguire.
You're telling me, okay, and that's what I'm saying. From he missed 4 games from August 26, 2023 to September 22nd, 2023.
Bro,
He missed 1 game due to illness in December.
Who,
From September,
Maguire?
Varane, bro. This is Rafael Varane's injury history from this season.
bro.
From September 22nd, 2023.
23 games.
Well, before that, he was spotty.
That's what I'm trying to get at. Like,
But he was spotty due
Here's what I'm saying, though.
your manager,
Marcus,
due
hear me
to
out.
whatever
Just
y'all were
because-
playing with there.
No. See, this is what I'm saying. Like if Chelsea, you're giving grace. United, you're like, do your manager. Just because a player's on the bench doesn't mean he's match fit. I remember I watched Johnny Evans have to come on with a toe injury, bro. At the end of the season, we had to play Casemiro for 4 games.
Listen.
And Martinez was on the bench.
I'm not saying you're wrong. All I'm saying is with the timeline I just went over, and the viewers just saw of Varane's injury history this season, it does not make sense that the man was on the bench he only missed 1 game from September till August. From April.
Hold on.
And you're telling me he wasn't fit on the bench.
One.
Well, he had an injury. He did get injured for the running.
I watched these games. Varane was not a reliable center. He would always come up in games.
Varane has never been a regular star. He's always been injured.
That's what I'm trying to explain. And besides Varane, you're focusing on Varane. Our left back.
That was just one person.
Our left back position was awful. Luke Shaw was injured. Malacia was injured. We had to go get Sergio Reguilon. Then we think that Luke Shaw is going to come back from injury, so we let his contract cut short in January. Luke Shaw gets injured again.
That's your own fault.
No, it happens. But I'm giving you the reasons. Casemiro, come on. Mason Mount. How many games did Mason Mount play for us this season?
Who? Okay, hey, bro. Listen.
I'm making a point. Is that when Chelsea had their injuries and they were awful, you were like, you know what? They had a injury.
Okay. The reason why I'm not giving you injury crisis is because despite the injuries, you still had a team fielded a team that was much better than Chelsea.
What?
If you look at your,
they did not have a better team than us.
No, I want him to name the players that you're telling me is better than Chelsea players. Who?
Over the course of the season, Chelsea spent the entire season in the bottom half of the table.
Bro,
the only reason, listen, while I give credit to Chelsea coming up,
listen, all red, Jesus.
Bro,
yes. While I give credit, bro, Bruno Fernandes will walk into that Chelsea side.
Okay, one player.
Bruno Fernandes, Anthony Martial.
Anthony Martial did not play for us this season. He played like
Anthony Martial.
He played like 5
Anthony
games.
Martial played.
Martial
Anthony Martial was.
to Chelsea.
I'm sorry. I said Anthony. I'm sorry. I meant Marcus Rashford. That's my fault. I meant Marcus Rashford. That's my fault. I meant Marcus Rashford.
Okay, 2 players.
He had a bad season, but Marcus Rashford will walk into that Chelsea side. Marcus Rashford will walk into that Chelsea side.
Hold on.
Marcus Rashford as bad as we.
He will though. Even Sterling.
Marcus Rashford or Raheem Sterling.
Yeah, exactly. Sterling benches Rashford this year.
You play Sterling will play on the right. Well, if anything,
he can play on the right or the left.
Cole Palmer. What do you mean? Cole Palmer attack. Cole Palmer could free roam, bro. He put him out attacking midfielders.
Cole Palmer
moving around and everything.
Enzo Caicedo and Gallagher. No, he does not walk.
Enzo Caicedo and Gallagher had.
What do you mean? You play 4-2-3-1. You put him right behind the striker.
Enzo Caicedo and Gallagher had a better midfield balance than what we can. Enzo Fernandez is
a better midfield balance. Better midfield balance, definitely.
Enzo Fernandez is better than McTominay.
Stop.
That was one thing I've been trying to.
No. Wait. You think McTominay is better than Enzo Fernandez?
We've been trying to.
Premier League, yes.
Chelsea had a great squad, even with the injuries, which is why we were disappointed. We didn't. I don't
Chelsea's
agree.
team was better than ours. Like I don't.
I don't agree.
They had Thiago Silva.
I think this man.
They had Malo Gusto.
This man you side has no business finishing below Chelsea.
Silva was better than any of their left back.
Name these players that should have made the impact. Is it Wan-Bissaka? Dalot?
Silva was better than Maguire.
Before Malo Gusto had his run.
That walk into our team are Rashford and Bruno. That's it.
Haaland is not even walking into that team.
Rashford, he's sleeping on the bench next to
before Haaland got injured. That it's an argument.
Haaland was injured to the start of the season, though. When we bought him, he was injured.
Haaland does not walk into
You're right.
Bro, I'm telling you, our team, we never. How I said it. We never fielded a cohesive.
So what you told? Okay. So explain Jadon Sancho.
Bro, that's just Jadon Sancho being dumb. To be honest,
that's politics.
So
that's politics, and I blame Hag for that.
Even when
I want to hear your grids.
Hold on.
Let me just
hear
your
grids.
grids.
Jadon Sancho was playing, right? Was he good?
I think that's due to your manager, but that's a different discussion.
Was he that great at Dortmund? How many goals has he scored in Dortmund since he got back?
He was fantastic at Dortmund. He was
He
fantastic at Dortmund.
Good games, and the internet blew it up.
No, bro.
He was much better than whatever he did at Man.
He was much better than what he was at United because he was happier, but he wasn't like destroying.
If y'all didn't pay him such exorbitant wages, Dortmund would want to keep him.
Bro, that's a past ownership structure, which is why Ineos didn't want to sign Tosin because Tosin was asking for starter wages where we wanted him on the bench as a rotational player. That's just the truth.
The guy Chelsea signed?
Yeah.
Either way, now you're doing all this roundabout. Let me hear your grade.
For United, my grade is going to be a C. It was an average season.
Jesus, Shags, let me hear your grade.
I've said what I said. We won a trophy. We're Europe. Considering it's a team that I watch. I watched the games all season. Was it painful to watch?
You're not in Europe, by the way.
Well, how are we not in Europe?
You won the FA Cup. Fuck.
That's what I'm telling you. We're in the Europa League.
I'm looking at 8, yeah.
And we won the FA Cup. Considering all the shit that we went through, I'm gonna see like shit. Like we got something out of it. Our worst season. Put it this way.
It's a D, bro.
Our worst season in the Premier League. We won one more trophy than Arsenal.
Something Arsenal fans hate to hear. But hey, let me give my take on this.
So,
apart from the last game of the season, that was a dumpster fire of a season. It was like I've never seen a team fail upwards more spectacularly. Winning games they have no business winning, losing games, and making it super hard for themselves when there's absolutely no reason. But also, like, I was Big Ten Hag out. Like, I was like, what is this guy doing? But, redeemed at the end of the year. Injuries, yes. Signings terrible, but at least now, take over. That's a plus too. I think we could count the takeover as part of the season too. That's a big plus. And the most important thing, an FA Cup trophy at the end against their rivals at Wembley to save everything and make all the struggle worth it. All the struggle worth. I wish it would have been my Chelsea. That, like I kept telling you, I don't care if we finish 12th again. As long as we win something like FA Cup, we're in Europa League. We're money. Marcus, have I not been saying that all year?
Consistent with that, at least.
So, for them, seeing as they had a better season than, let's see, Arsenal, Liverpool, Aston Villa, Tottenham. I won't mention my team, but I'll give them a rounding C+ of a grade. Because at the end of the day, you have to consider all the factors. And that FA Cup, literally saved them. Without the FA Cup, if they lost,
F minus.
That's like a failure. Ten Hag would be unemployed right now.
To go from F to C is insane.
Based off, that's what it means to win something. That's them from no Europe to Europa League.
Yes, it would have been a disaster if we did not get revenue from Europe. Disaster.
This is where we're gonna end the podcast. This is what I'll say. If Manchester United ends up keeping Erik ten Hag, it'll be because of the FA Cup.
Exactly. Only reason.
And this is where we'll truly wrap. If that turns out to be the case, fans going in the future I promise you they'll be coming back to rue this day. They'll be coming back to rue the FA Cup.
I'm gonna just take this as the words of a rival fan. So it's cool.
He's still butthurt about it, even though he has no.
All I'm gonna say is this.
What's your grade for them, though?
All I'm gonna say is this.
Yeah, I already gave him a D-. What do you mean?
All I'm gonna say is this. First, Ten Hag's first season came in third, won a trophy.
Yes. Yep.
Second season, awful with injuries, came in 8th, won a trophy, got to us in Europe. I can only imagine what he would do with a team that is injury-free and cohesive. The team that he actually wants to put out. I can only imagine. So as a United fan, including the takeover, that's my optimism.
Okay, well, I hope that is next season for you, starting next season. If you do keep Ten Hag. If you don't keep Ten Hag, then God only knows. And with that brings us to the end of yet another episode. This was a really long episode.
Really long.
Apologize to our faithful viewers and listeners. I know y'all. We promised at the beginning of the season we'll try to keep episodes to that 40-minute 2-hour mark. But for a finale episode on the season, I guess it doesn't hurt too bad to go over like this. As I mentioned at the beginning, we will be going on summer break here. It's unfortunate we didn't get to discuss the England Starboards discussion, but will definitely be the first thing we discuss in the first episode back from our summer break before we get into the Euros, of course. And who knows, based on what performances might have already happened in the Euros, by that point, we might have some additional evidence to add to the whole discussion. Time will tell. But until then, as always, we appreciate you. Like, subscribe, leave a rating, comment, share with your family, your friends, all that good stuff. And as always, we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.